Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
Well, we are going to do another episode, and this one was kind of your idea.
I know,
So let's hear it.
we're going down another rabbit hole.
It's another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan said, hey, excuse me, these people are going down rabbit holes. They're doing a disservice to real conspiracy theories like myself.
I know, yeah. And when I hear somebody like saying stuff like that, I'm like,
I'm going down rabbit holes. What are these
what?
rabbit holes?
Yeah, he's trying to
He
like
totally did. He was
steer
like,
people away from our rabbit holes.
he was like poo-pooing on the term rabbit hole. Like, these rabbit holes. Yeah, it's like, that's what they call them.
Well, what we're talking about is how does social engineering corral our kids into the LG Bumblebee XYZ center? Yeah,
LGBTQRSTV.
like
Yeah.
let's just add every letter of the alphabet to it.
Ay, ay, ay.
So what I've been noticing is there seems to be an awful lot of this stuff lately. You
Yeah.
notice that? Like it's like they say like every fourth kid is now like identifies as LGXYZ, whatever. Like they're
Why
either
is it so prevalent?
why is it so prevalent now?
I mean, it used to be like Tchaikovsky, Elton John, that was it. You know what I'm saying? Now
It
it's
was,
like everybody.
yeah, it was like, when we were kids, like there was nobody, I don't think there was anybody that I went to high school with that was openly that way. Maybe one or two, you know?
Now, there's a couple of things. There was don't ask, don't tell back then.
Well, that was happening. Like we knew there were several of those
You kind
people
of
that we knew that was the case, but nobody really talked about it.
like 1950s America was intolerant of homosexuality.
Yeah.
We were like, don't come out and don't be walking around like you're happy about it.
Yeah, but now but see what I'm noticing though is so that seems inorganically um manipulated because I don't think 25% of the population is that way. I mean, okay, God made us the way we are, right? God made a man and a woman to procreate.
Yes.
The man has certain parts, the woman has certain parts.
And I enjoy having those parts.
And God made us this way and he made it feel good so people want to
Yes.
procreate, and if you are just sticking with the same side, you're not going to procreate. So the plan is that people are going to procreate. So it's going against nature to be this
Well,
way.
I think what's going on these days is remember from Team America when the guy goes, it's not about sex, Eric. I don't think it's about sex.
No,
I think it's about fitting in.
that's my point.
Because
I
I
think
think,
it's trendy now.
well, take a look at how gnarly it is to be lonely, unwanted, and broke these days.
Right.
It's gnarly.
Yeah.
I see homeless people and I feel really bad for them. I
Hmm.
mean, there's people who have fallen through the cracks in our society.
Right.
So think about if you're 14
Hmm.
and you see somebody like that. I mean, it's terrifying. You've got your whole life ahead of you, and you see that some people are just rejected
Yeah.
and broke, and they just die alone on the streets.
Or if you're 14 or 15 and you just feel that way, because I think at that age, most people go through a phase where they feel unwanted or they don't fit in or whatever. And I think what's happening now is there's so much social engineering with TV shows and movies and even commercials. Everywhere we look, all the social media, they're pushing this idea that like, oh, if you feel this way, maybe it's because you're XYZ, and if you do this, you'll fit in and you'll feel better. And so,
Because that's how Satan works, remember?
yeah,
So what happens is people feel insecure and they feel lonely and they feel unwanted.
Yeah.
And then what do? They turn to media.
Right.
And then they go put on some media. And these days, Satan goes, good, good, good. Now, what I do with people who are ugly and unwanted like you now, what we used to do is we had different programming. But now we corral you into LGBTQ bubble.
Hmm.
And then this is a bubble where we go, you're not ugly and disgusting and people want you, but you have to chop your tits off.
Well, and not only that, but I think, we talked about before, I said, I think a lot of people, what happens is like a lot of girls, they have like some kind of trauma with a male figure in their
I
life.
love that. You know what?
Yeah.
You have a very interesting. Let's unpack that for a sec
Well, I
because it
think,
pertains to this episode.
yeah,
So you think that what causes a woman to go be a lesbo is different than a dude to go be a butt dart.
mhm.
So you have a very interesting theory. So this is great. So women, they go become lesbos because of trauma from men.
I think so. I do think that's what triggers it. And I think um they feel like maybe it'll be safer or easier with a
I
woman.
could see that.
Yeah, and also this I sort of had an epiphany because um like I was listening to some people talk about this about their kids, and they were saying like it just felt easier. It was easier to be with a woman, and I think this generation wants easy. You know what I mean? And a man and a woman, it's not easy for a man and a woman to communicate.
Not these days,
We
especially.
we don't communicate the same way, and so I think like a lot of relationships, probably the one of the biggest problems is communication because just naturally women have a different way of communicating than men usually, and I think there's a lot of disconnect in relationships because of communication, and I think maybe what happens is like a girl may have some sort of trauma with a boyfriend or something and or even just feel rejected like maybe he didn't ask her to the prom, who knows what it is, and it's easier to communicate her feelings to another girl, and then because of the social engineering it's okay, it's now maybe she's not just your friend, she's your lover now
That's a
too,
good point.
whereas like in the 1950s or even in the 80s, I mean, even when we grew up, this never would have been considered. Like you never would have I mean, I don't
It didn't even occur to
it
you.
didn't even occur to you that like, oh my gosh, this boy didn't ask me to the dance or he just dumped me now. I think I'm gonna go be with a woman. Like that never would have even occurred to people even 20 years ago. But now it's just like, oh, I'm not getting along with these boys or whatever. And look at this girl is paying attention to me. I think maybe I'm going to go have sex with this girl.
I just had
You
an
know
epiphany.
what?
I just had an epiphany. You just laid that out so like perfectly and succinctly that it made me realize. So I think social engineering is very profound on people now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that even you and me, we've talked about how you and I have been social engineered our whole lives.
Oh, for sure.
But you and I both kind of, in our own way, I did it at 13, you did a little bit later, but we both went, wait a second, no, I'm not going to be controlled by the culture club anymore.
Right.
But the culture club is controlling people.
They're still controlling people.
So what they do is they teach dudes and they say, dudes, treat women like sex objects. Women are sex objects, and you just go use them like a bag of weed or a six pack of beer,
Uh-huh.
and you enjoy them for the night, and then you're done with them. And so they get social engineered to do that, but then the women get social engineered to get really mad about being treated by dudes by that.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you have dudes who are rejected by the women and they go turn to media.
Mm-hmm.
And you have women who are, how dare he just want to use me as a sex object? And now they go turn to media. And the media knows exactly the dynamics. So it mind controls them when they turn to the media in that state. So the woman, she turns to the media in the state of, oh my God, that guy doesn't want me for love. Remember that song, Joey, that goes,
Yeah,
Joey,
Joey,
baby.
baby.
What does
Yeah.
she say? She goes, those men on the street, they're all the same.
Hmm.
I need love, not games. Because that's what a woman wants. She wants love. She doesn't want games.
Yeah, and I think maybe because of like the, communication that we just talked about, I think that she can communicate more easily maybe with another woman. And so she kind of now it's totally okay and acceptable to just interpret that as like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be in a relationship, a sexual relationship with this woman instead of just like, oh, this is my friend that I'm going to talk to and like tell
Like
her tell her my
you
problems.
had close girlfriends,
Yeah, I mean, I've
and
had
you would go
lots.
talk with them about, well, that dude did this, and
Yeah,
then they would be there for you.
yeah.
But you weren't going, do you mind if I lick your, you know what, really quick? It wasn't like that. That didn't
No,
occur to you.
yeah, it never occurred to me.
You were
And
like, I am so glad I get to talk to you and
yeah,
just like be a friend. Like
yeah,
that was good.
yeah.
Now they've kind of like poisoned the water.
They've sort of blurred all the lines. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, if you want to just, go be with a guy now and then next week be with a girl, then that's okay. That's fine. You're what like some of these younger people, they don't even know what they are. Like they're not one way or the other. They're just like whatever.
Gender fluid.
Yeah. Like you've talked about some of your daughter's friends that are like that who just kind of go one way or the other. And it's like it just seems to be a very prevalent thing now in our
Here's what they
society.
say. Yeah, I'll go. So is she a lesbian? No. Oh, is she a trans? No. She just identifies as LGBTQ. So that's kind of like they just kind of like are in the group.
Yeah, and it's like suddenly it's this like trendy thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's turned
It's
from
like the Mickey Mouse Club
yeah.
perversions. It's like, okay. So but what's interesting though is so that's how lesbians become lesbians.
Mhm.
But you have another kind of idea about what happens with dudes.
Well, and this could be starting to happen with women now too, because of social engineering and pushing all this stuff in our faces all the time. But I think like with the dudes, I think they are just extremely uh kinky. I think that like the thought of just like regular heterosexual sex is not enough for them. They want something more extreme, and it doesn't get much more extreme than to do that with another man. You know what I mean? So that's my theory.
I always have the problem with that. Like, you know, people will have like these things where they'll be like, "Oh my God, yeah, they're gay, but he's so amazing, he's so awesome," and I'll be like, "Yeah, but there's one thing that you have to get past when you're talking about a gay dude. He looks at a vagina and he goes, 'No, thank you,' and then he looks at some dude's hairy butt and goes, 'I want that.'" Now that is just so wrong. I don't know. Like, I don't want to take like financial advice from that guy. I don't want him drilling in my teeth.
Bad decision.
That's a bad decision. It's kind of like a tattoo. It's like, I don't even want you working on my teeth, dude. Because you look at a vagina and you go, ew, no. And then you look at some dude named Harry and you look at his butt and you go, ooh, yes. And I'm just like, dude, nothing you say has merit now. I'm sorry.
Well, I think the point that we're trying to make though is that this like tendency and this trend now, because really it seems like a trend because
It's trend.
this was not happening, years ago. And now suddenly it's every like you can
It doesn't have anything to do with sex. It's
no,
identity.
you can hardly meet like a small group of people anymore and like not one of them is either like this or they have a
And we've
teenage
talked
child like
about,
this.
remember we talked about the lobby,
Yes, talk
not
about that.
not
So
the lobby at the
because
hotel.
no, talk about that because what I was going to start talking about is how they put all of this stuff in movies and TV shows and even commercials now. So like, like I was just watching some movie the other night and it was just there was one scene where the main character was having like a small dinner party at her house and like she invited three other couples. Well, one of the couples was a lesbian couple. Like it's like that is prevalent in everything now. So it's It's like they put it in everywhere to make it seem like it's
It's
just
normalized.
normalized and it's ubiquitous. It's happening everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And you told me that they actually have a lobby, which
A very
is
powerful lobby.
not a surprise, but talk about that.
So it's a very powerful lobby. And what they do is, so we've talked about how you have to sell your soul to Satan to make a movie.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you're making Netflix movies, if you're making Hollywood movies, or just some Hulu series. You have to sell your soul. Satan goes, no, 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 you're not going on Hulu unless you come here. So when they sell their soul, Satan goes, good, 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 good. No, you wrote a good story, but you need to have 4 trainees in there.
Hmm. You need to
Okay.
have a gay
You
couple.
need to have a gay couple. Remember they did that with Younger. Younger was a
Yeah.
great show. You were enjoying it, but then at the end they're like, by the way, you just kind
Like these trannies were in one of the scenes, and it was like they were like the worst actors too.
they're bad actors,
They were
and then
terrible.
it's not moving the narrative forward.
Yeah,
They were just kind of like superfluous characters.
yeah,
So that's what the lobby does. They have, I'm sorry, Buzz Lightyear has to come out as a gay guy
yeah,
in Toy Story, and they love doing that for little kids.
yeah.
So, like, my daughter's 18, and almost all of her friends are this way.
Almost all of them.
Yeah,
Okay, so that, like I was saying before, that's inorganically
it's not.
unrealistic.
And
You
then
know what I mean?
they're not even sexually active. So I'll check on and I'll be like, so are they having like sex? No. They're just identifying as that as like an umbrella identity because that's the social engineering. The
Hmm.
social engineering is saying, no, 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 no. Like David Hogg said, gay people are awesome.
Well, so that's weird. So I think what they're doing is they're hiding in this umbrella identity. I think that maybe it feels safer and easier for them to say, I'm LGXYZ instead of putting themselves out there as I'm a single and available young female. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Because if you're single and you're available and nobody's asking you out, that could feel very like that could make you feel rejected and unwanted and
You know
undesirable,
what's so
you
crazy?
know?
Now that I'm what age I am as a firefly, I've developed as a firefly. I've learned things about butterflies.
Oh.
What I've learned is that sometimes um, it's kind of rude to not hit on a girl.
Oh,
Like she
yeah.
might be wanting you to flirt with her a
Give
little
her
bit.
some attention.
And some guys, because the Me Too movement kind of scared the crap out of dudes.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like rape
I
to come
think
up and
that,
flirt.
oh my gosh, epiphany.
Epiphany, epiphany, epiphany.
I think you're right. And I think that was part of the plan.
Yeah.
I think that that was part of the way to get men to be like, powerless and
Mhm.
to not hit on women. And so
Because the consequences are so grave.
yeah, and so that also contributes to like the depopulation agenda also because
Totally.
if men are not hitting on women and they're not getting together, they're not going to be procreating,
They've
you
pretty
know.
much made it so, like, if I just come up to you and say, wow, you're really sexy, they're going to be like, oh my God, that's rape.
Yeah, or that's sexual harassment.
Yeah, it's sexual harassment. So now both the dude and the girl are bummed because the girl wants
Right?
to get hit on,
She does.
but the dude's terrified to hit on her because he's going to get called a rapist.
Yeah.
And now the dude's thinking, okay, um, I feel really insecure
Yeah.
because she doesn't want me.
Yeah.
So now I'm lonely. And now maybe this is how dudes are getting corralled into it. They are lonely. They start going on porn. And maybe porn, if you're in a moral bottomless pit, maybe it's a slippery slope to homosexuality.
I think it could be.
So
Yeah.
the dudes are responding to their rejection that way.
Hmm.
But the girls, they're going, nobody hits on me. Men, I'm just not interested in men. And I think what might be going on is the social engineering is like making women kind of not want men.
Yeah.
It's kind of saying you don't need a man in your life.
Well, that's what they tell them all the time. You don't need a man.
Like, what were we watching? We watched a show. Oh, it was what's the one with Margot? I always forget the
Hunting
name. The
wives.
Hunting Wives.
Yeah.
Well, so
Your
Margot,
favorite show.
yeah. So Margot has extramarital affairs, but
Hmm.
they're not with dudes.
They're with other women.
Yeah.
Well, she has dudes too,
She has dudes
but,
too.
but she's in a moral bottomless pit.
She's kind of the perfect LGBTQ community member
Right.
because she just kind of says, I spread my legs and do whatever.
Yeah.
And, anything is good.
And did you notice though in that show how she did that and the women who were really into her were really upset and felt really rejected when she like was just like whatever and she wanted to go be with the guys again?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think, these girls who think that things are going to be easier for them by being with a woman I think they're going to find out that I think there's probably even more drama with other women. So
Did you hear about
you
those
know,
Brazilian lesbians and they killed their kid?
no,
That was like a couple of years ago.
not really.
And it came out in the wash that they were like, well, we adopted. So that's another weird phenomena
Yeah.
is like gay couples adopting kids.
Hmm.
I think that's a horrifically toxic environment for a kid to be raised in.
Totally, because you're just bringing these kids up to think that this is a completely normal life.
And they're bringing them into their household. And if they're degenerates, their household is filled with evil spirits and degeneracy. So the kid's growing up in that.
Right.
But then these two
We're making
lesbians.
a lot of friends on this episode.
Oh, they're getting mad. Well, this was true though. These
Yeah.
two lesbians, I think they killed the kid.
Oh my
They
God.
were being horrible to him, and then they killed him. And
Ugh.
so it came out in the wash, like they had beat him so bad that they had to bring him to the hospital a couple times, and then they finally killed him.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I think LGBTQ people are violent. I do.
That was a jump,
Yeah,
but yeah, it could be. It
because
could be.
you see, like when they get activated,
Oh, right.
you know,
Well, so
like remember they had that one girl, she was like in Tennessee and went and shot like the Christian
right.
school, and
Yeah.
she was like, I'm a trans.
So
Violent.
there's definitely an aspect of mental illness there because
I think you get corralled into the
you get
community, and
yeah,
then you have narratives in that community.
and there's different avenues in that community. So a lot of them end up going down like some really dark roads, and then before you know it, they're like chopping off their body parts and trying to change their sex.
Epiphany.
What?
So, you know how we talked about news as a bubble?
Yeah.
So, if you go join the LGBTQ community, you're probably going to watch MSNBC and CNN.
Right.
And so they have built in narratives for you now. So you come there, and then they say, by the way, Trump hates you. You need to go violent.
Trump hates you,
Trump
and you're
hates you.
gay. Or you're trans or whatever. Yeah. I
I
think
talked to my mom the other day. So remember I told you my mom is visiting my sister in San Francisco?
yeah.
And what did we say about my sister?
Well,
She lives in San Francisco,
yeah.
and she has a poster in her window
Yeah.
that says Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. Love is love.
Love is love. Trust the science.
But she's mean to her dog.
She's mean to my dog. I'm mean to my dog, but no person is illegal, but my dog was bad. So anyways, so my mom has been up there for about 2 months.
Yeah.
And
She loves it there.
she does. And it is cool. San Francisco's fun. I love
If you
hanging out.
stay away from the poop and the gutter and the dirty needles that
cleaned
are
all
all
that
in
up.
the side.
They've cleaned all that up.
They cleaned it up
For good.
for the Chinese what was
She.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still clean.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because I went there and checked it out.
Okay.
So they grabbed all the homeless people and all the bum poop, and they moved them somewhere in like Stockton. They probably took them to Stockton.
Some of them trickled down here to our city.
So they moved them out of the way to make
Mhm.
San Francisco look good. So San Francisco, she's stoked on. I don't mind her being in San Francisco, but she's getting indoctrinated because
Oh, for sure.
my sister, this is crazy because I went and visited her. She has MSNBC on in the house always
Mhm.
and on in the car always. So
Wow.
you're almost constantly being bombarded with
It's
the
like a
narratives.
trickle. It's like a drip, like an IV
It's
drip.
like an IV. It's
It's like a
intravenous.
it's like just a drip that it's like, people that are like injured or sick, they have the morphine drip.
Yeah.
It's just a
So
constant
you're doing the dishes or you're cooking and it's in your mind.
all the time.
And unless you're someone like you and me, see, that's the thing about you and me. We have become impervious to
Yeah.
it. I can listen to it and I can weigh it for what it is, but my mom is drinking it. So the other night, my mom calls me and she goes, "Oh, I didn't sleep at all last night. I don't want to get into it with you." So she thinks I'm a Trump supporter. And I go, Mom, I can't stand Trump. But so she is completely losing sleep over Trump closing down the government and the government shutdown.
Oh God.
So the narrative is getting these people completely worked up.
I didn't even know that was happening until my mom mentioned it. I
Exactly.
was like, the government shut down
Yeah, and
again?
they do this all the time. And this brinksmanship has been going on since, remember Obama
Mhm.
and Boner. Remember his name was Boner,
Oh God.
and he was the Republican House. What was his name? I think it was Matt Boner.
Mm,
No, it was, but his last name was Boner.
that's horrible.
Remember him?
I don't remember him.
He was back in
No.
2015. He was the Speaker of the House. So he was like Mike Johnson back
Mhm.
then. And they closed the government down, and he was like Obama, because it's always the narrative.
Right.
Obama's such a bad guy. Now Trump's such a bad guy.
Right.
Well, so my point is that I think LGBTQ people get locked up into those narratives, and it activates them to go become violent. Because they just had another shooting that was some person that was a tranny.
Yeah. Well, it's a mental illness. And
Yeah.
I've seen like I know another person whose kid decided to be I don't even know what she is. She changed her name and she's like part of this LG whatever thing. And she looks like the people that go and do that stuff. And like
Shake
if
your head.
yeah, and I've talked to some friends and they said she's got a lot of mental illness. And I mean it's obviously a mental illness to go to that extreme and do these things. You know what I mean? And instead of like and you know what? Okay, so
I think they're getting controlled by the media.
they didn't even call like this mental illness like when we were kids. It wasn't called mental illness. It was like you were crazy, right?
You were
You
deviant.
were crazy. And, you know, but then they turned it into this thing where, oh, it's an illness. So we have to feel sorry for this person. You know what I mean? I think that was kind of a slippery slope because,
And
okay,
now they're normalizing it.
they're normalizing it.
Now if you like to have sex with like 8-year-old boys, that's just your sexual
They're
preference.
trying to make that normal. That
They're
it's a very slippery slope. And like we talked about in another previous episode, like if this becomes so normal that every fourth person is this way, I mean, what is going to be the next step to be more weird and crazy?
She has sex with horses. Can I get
Yeah.
another order of toast and eggs, please?
Yeah.
Oh, you like horses when you have sex? That's good. See, I know it's like normal.
Yeah.
If a woman has had sex with a
You'd
horse, I probably don't want her making my toast.
be scared for like the dogs at the animal shelter. I mean,
They got something new to worry about now. Like bury the bone has a whole other like connotation. But see, that's the thing. I think what's going on is now Satan. So I think it all gets predicated on young people.
it does.
It starts when you're young.
Yep.
So
They make it seem normal.
by the time a kid's 11, 12 years old, they're really insecure. They don't know who they are. They're immoral bottomless pits. They get turned into little immoral bottomless
Yeah.
pits. I think that's the predicate. If you're in a moral bottomless pit, you're easily manipulatable
Right.
because you have to have morality in order to be rooted. You have to be anchored.
Yeah, and the problem is a lot of them aren't. I mean, the families aren't spending enough time together. And so then they go to school and they have like a separate whole club for LGXYZ and it's like this is normal and you should be part of this club and
You know what happened to one of my daughter's friends?
what?
So remember I told you we lived in New Jersey.
Hmm.
So she went to elementary school, middle school there. And one of her friends that she met when she was like 6 years old was adorable. And she would come over and spend the night at her house and do all kinds of fun stuff. And when she was like 13, she became a dude.
What? 13? So that's the parents.
And
You know what I
I
mean?
love her parents. And you know what
What?
happened to her is she went to Ukraine. They were Ukrainian. She went to Ukraine for like the summer. And then when she came back, she became a dude. So I think Ukraine
Oh,
might be
that's
kind of like a
scary.
hot spot of all of this degeneracy.
Interesting.
But what I noticed is once they get kind of like brainwashed, a lot of times they don't come out of it.
No, they
Now,
don't.
what my daughter told me is she stopped talking to her. So my daughter, who was close friends with her,
Mhm.
saw her start turning into a dude and said, "I don't want to hang out with you anymore,"
Yeah.
which was sad
Yeah.
because they were close friends.
Yeah.
But now she's abandoned that.
Oh, geez.
So she's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" But see, that's hard now because now
Yeah.
you're having to re-enter into social life.
Yeah, and you miss that those formative years and, like, maybe if she was taking, like, drugs and stuff or surgery, you can't go back from that,
Oh my
you
God.
know?
And
Then
that's the
there's
thing now. They
yeah,
go, "By the way, you don't have to tell your mom. You
yeah,
want to chop your tits off? Come on.
you can just go to Ukraine.
Go to Ukraine.
Or California.
You California, we have places you can go. You can chop your tits off. You don't have to tell your mom." So I think what's going on is they're getting tapped into some kind of media bubble that's turning them into this thing. But what I'm noticing too is a lot of them are kind of breaking free from it now.
Yeah. Well, I've heard a lot of stories where the ones that, like, decide to go be trans change their mind after a few years, and it's horrific, you know?
Is that the
So
white pill? Is that
well,
the white pill of this
is
episode?
that the white pill? I think what the white pill is that you need to spend a lot of time talking about these things with your kids
Yes,
and
of course.
have, let them know that this is not a normal way
You
to,
have to be a
you know,
very active parent these days,
right.
more so than ever before, because you literally have to offset the brainwashing of the media.
Mhm.
So you have to sit down with your kid and you have to talk with them
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah.
And you have to dispel the programming because they are getting
They're
programmed.
getting programmed even in private schools. So you have to like ask like what did you learn in this class? What did you learn in that class? And what did that teacher talk about today? Like did you talk about anything that was unrelated to that subject, and you find out and
Like my daughter's going to college now.
uh-huh.
One of her classes is Chicano studies. And I'm like, so I'm always asking her, I'm always like, what did you learn? What'd you learn there? And she was like,
Didn't she say that that was like a required class?
it's required.
Oh my gosh.
And so she had to watch this movie, and the movie was like the poor cockroaches.
Oh yeah.
That's what it
Of
was.
course.
The poor cockroaches who snuck into this country are getting raided by ICE, and that's really bad. They should be able to come here and live for free. So I had to talk with her, and I was like, "Now, do you understand that Chicano studies? That's Kool-Aid. You understand that?" And she was like, "I know." She gets mad.
Yeah.
"I know, Dad. I know." But I'm like, "No, but really, you have to understand, these people are portraying America as this horrific place. Well, if it's so
Why are
horrific,
they coming here?
stay down and go,
Yeah.
dude. Guatemala is right
Yeah,
there. Go
exactly.
live in Guatemala.
Yeah.
No, they want to live here and
Yeah.
work at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So, okay, then acknowledge that it's awesome here, But she's like getting taught, no, we're horrible.
So does she recognize that it's Kool-Aid or is she
Yeah,
yeah.
but she gets mad because she thinks that I'm just an insensitive white guy. And
Mhm.
I'm like, no, but I'm a firefly. I don't have a race. But
Mhm.
that's what's going on. So you have to. What I do is with my daughter, I know that I can't tell her what to think.
Yeah.
She has to come up to her own conclusions.
Yeah.
But always make sure that you're discussing the fact that you don't drink everything that they just feed you.
Yeah.
Because remember, I told you she read that Handmaid's Tale book.
Yeah.
You have to go and unpack it because what the school is doing, and I think the LGBTQ thing is the school.
Yeah.
I think it's happening in the
Oh,
school.
I think so for sure.
That's where
Yeah.
this messaging, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Our teachers are turning our kids gay,
I know.
gnarly,
They
and
are.
trans.
Yeah, for sure.
I told you what happened at my school, at my daughter's high school. Remember, I had to call the principal. So in 1 week time, 3 events took place that were very disconcerting.
Mm.
The first thing was my daughter does plays. So
Mhm.
she does like musicals and drama,
Mhm.
and they'll put on performances.
Mhm.
The guy who did the lighting got arrested because he was sexting one of her friends.
Oh my
She
gosh.
was 15 and he's sexting her and he's the
Wow.
lighting guy. So he got arrested. And
Wow.
then I was even like tripping out. I was like, he got arrested? Okay, yeah. No, well, he's not going to go to jail, but he did have to be suspended temporarily. And I was like, suspended temporarily? No, he should
That's,
go to jail.
yeah.
He should not even be
He
ever
should be
working with kids
fired
ever
for
again.
sure.
You're sexting a 15-year-old and get caught? You should
Wow.
never be able to work. But no, he got suspended.
Yeah.
So that happened. That was disconcerting. Then at one of the other Ventura County schools, which is in the county that she's in,
Mm-hmm.
that she was going to school in, a kid got up in class and started jerking off in class. You didn't hear about this?
No,
Yeah.
that's so
In the
gross.
front of the class, he whips it out and starts jerking off. And the teacher goes, excuse me, no, 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 no.
And the
He goes, but this is how the teacher reacted. No, that's fine. What you're doing is just fine, but it's a little inappropriate. There's other people here.
what?
So he was asked to please stop, and nothing happened to him. He wasn't given detention. He wasn't expelled. He wasn't arrested. He just was told, that's fine. What you're doing is totally good. We want you to be in touch with your body. But, some of the girls are lesbians and they don't want to watch that. So I guess that was kind of like the so it was kind of like remember in The Hunting Wives, Sophie's husband gets mad because she's having a lesbian affair, but it's not that she's having a lesbian affair. It's like, well, you're with my boss's wife.
Might lose my job.
So that's what it was.
Yeah.
So the dude's not getting in trouble for jerking off in class. He's getting in trouble because, well, some of the lesbians might find that offensive.
Oh my gosh.
So, and then nothing happened to him.
Wow.
And then the final straw,
See, if that would have happened when we were kids, everybody in the class would have been like, "What is wrong with you?" Like
he would have been expelled.
he would have been expelled, but the kids would have been like every other kid would have been like,
You're a weirdo,
like
bro.
you're a total weirdo. Like he would have been ostracized.
No, but now the kids are like, is that acceptable? I don't know.
Yeah,
Like they're grappling with whether or not this is something that they need to come to
they're
terms
grappling with what's acceptable.
Like, oh, I guess you just jerk off in front of class, and I guess that's fine now.
Yeah.
He's expressing himself. Okay. Well, so that happened. But then the final straw, I had to write the principal. And my daughter gets in the car and she goes, can you please get home as quick as possible? I got to go to the bathroom really bad. And I go, why don't you just go here at the school and then I'll drive you home? She said, no, I'm not going ever in the school again. And I'm like, what? She's like, I do not go to the bathroom at school. Hurry up. So I get her home. She goes to the bathroom. She comes out and I go, what's going on? Why can't you use the bathroom at school? She goes, well, they let dudes go in there.
Oh gosh.
And so she has dudes go into the girls' bathroom while she's in there.
That's so horrible.
And she's not comfortable.
And so obviously the girls are not comfortable with this situation. So why is it being allowed?
Because it's kind of like everything is politically incorrect.
Yeah.
So the principal is PC principal.
Yeah.
He's totally PC.
And so if the boys want this, then they can just do it.
We can't, because if he takes any kind of like
stance,
like a policy, if he puts a policy in place and says no dudes can go in the girls' bathroom, that'll become nationwide news these days.
Right.
That's kind of what's going on.
And it's just common sense. I mean, like stuff that used to be common sense like a few years ago is now like people just like don't know, like because the lines are blurred.
I mean, you're a girl. Would you want to have some dude in the bathroom with you?
No.
That's like a very, like, I've talked with my daughter. She's like, won't go to the bathroom in there.
That's horrible.
So obviously, like, I'm a dude. I don't really care. If there's a girl in there, I'll go use the urinal. I don't care.
Yeah.
But a girl, it's different.
Yeah.
They don't want dudes hearing any of their business in the bathroom.
Girls like more privacy.
They need that privacy.
Yeah.
So she refused to use the bathroom. And I'm going, dude, that's not good for you to be holding your pee all day.
No.
And it's not acceptable.
No.
So I emailed the principal. Mm-hmm. And I put all of those 3 incidents down and I said, this is unacceptable. Something needs to be done. And he goes, excuse me. We have addressed all of these issues appropriately. Okay. These are all very sensitive issues and we have taken the appropriate measures. I said, so I did an email correspondence with him back and forth. I said, what happened to the dude with the lighting? He sexted one of my daughter's friends. So he was trying to arrange a sexual encounter
with a
with a
15-year-old.
15-year-old and he got caught. What's going to happen with him? He's been suspended. I go, suspension is inadequate. That's not, I don't want him coming back to work.
Yeah.
My daughter can't be in that program if he ever comes back to work. And then he wrote me like a week later and he goes, just so you know, we have fired that employee. And I go,
Oh
well,
my
thank you.
God.
It took you a week to determine that.
Now he just got another job at the high school across town.
Probably. And then I go, how are you going to address the concerns about my daughter not being able to use the restroom there? I said, I do not want boys going into the girls' restroom. That seems ridiculous that I have to tell you that. And he goes, we've addressed that. Excuse me, we've addressed that. We're going to be putting in
Litter boxes.
no. This is what they're gonna build this. So they're gonna have like an expensive, our taxpayer dollars are gonna pay for this.
Oh my God.
They're gonna build gender neutral bathrooms.
Oh, great.
So they're gonna have bathrooms for the trannies.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna build them.
So they're gonna have like special bathrooms just for like the 5 people that, well, it'll probably be 20 people by next year, but
And I told them, I said, that's an unacceptable solution too.
yeah,
Because the whole predicate of the policy should be boys do not go into the bathroom with girls.
right.
Period. End of story. But that's not the case.
No,
Everything. So he has to respond in this way to avoid national news.
exactly. And it's always catering to the few. You know what I mean? It's always like catering the problem or the situation to accommodate the minority,
And that's what
which is the problem.
I said. Okay, now I know it wasn't your school, but there was another school in the county where the dude started jerking off in the front of the class, and he wasn't even reprimanded. And he goes, um, there's nothing that I can do about that. He's at a different school. Our policy is we don't encourage that kind of behavior. And I was like, your policies, you don't encourage that kind of behavior? No, no. So I felt like his responses were inadequate
Yeah.
for me. So that's what's going on is
He's like
if
he's like, that wasn't my school, but even if it was, I wouldn't do anything about it.
so what's the takeaway? Remember we talked about takeaways are really important.
Yeah.
Like from the Hunting Wives, the takeaway is we live in a dystopia. You're not gonna fix it, so just be a hot slut.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway.
Right.
The takeaway from a dude sitting up in the front of the class and jerking off and nothing happening to him is that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. You know, if you have a sexual emergency, you need to do that.
Yeah. Well, so I think this is like the problem with all of this like ambiguity. It's like everything becomes ambiguous, not only like sexual ambiguity or gender ambiguity,
I'm
but
gender fluid.
yeah, but like actual like societal ambiguity and like the rules are sort of bent and like there's no like common sense or morals anymore. And it's just like, oh, be a
Is
moral
anything
bottomless pit.
prohibited?
Yeah, it's like everything's okay and everybody's all right, everybody fits in, and no matter
Do
how
we have
weird
any
you are.
decency anymore?
No.
We don't have decency.
So I think the white pill, what's the white pill? You've got to talk about these things with your kids and not go along. Like you wrote the principal
I wrote the principal
and said this is inappropriate and unacceptable.
And my last email to him was exactly that. And I think that's the white pill. My last email to him was just so you know, your addressing of these three issues is completely inadequate. And I'm going to make sure that I tell people accordingly. He was like, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So I think that is really the white pill. Just like everything else we talk about, we just don't go along with it. A lot of this stuff is nonsense. And when everybody just kind of acquiesces, which is one of your favorite words,
love that word.
when people acquiesce and go along and just like, okay, well, whatever, because they don't want to rock the boat, then it just perpetuates.
What
Is
happens?
another favorite.
The Overton window just keeps shifting.
Yeah.
As acquiescence takes place,
Yeah.
the Overton window shifts a little bit
It keeps
closer.
shifting and people accept more and more. And then before you know it, they're, raping the poor little stray dog that's
Well,
coming down the street.
That's right. Where is that Overton shifting to? That Overton window is shifting to the demise of our civilization.
Mhm.
The end of civilization is where the Overton shift is taking place.
Well, they've been like pounding this whole idea into like the younger generation now for several years that we're overpopulated and Earth mod is going to destroy the world,
Don't be afraid.
and we're going to be there's too many people in this planet, when actually the fact is populations have fallen.
Yeah.
And there's actually, like, I think it was Japan I heard about, like their population has fallen so drastically that I guess like it's probably never going to recoup. And that's happening around the world. The populations are actually dropping, but they're putting this idea out there that, we're overpopulated. But at the rate that we're going right now, we're actually not overpopulated and the populations are declining. And this is all part of the plan. And the LGXYZ whole agenda is part
So
of
profound.
that.
Because if you're sticking your penis in another man's butthole,
You're
you're
not
not going to get pregnant.
No. And when two girls are doing stuff, they're not going to get pregnant either. And that is all part of the plan too. Like they've got to get more and more people okay with like, oh, I'll just be in this, this kind of relationship. And then what happens to, a young woman who maybe she's like in her early 20s or something, and she's like all of a sudden like, well, I get, she's maybe been rejected by a few guys, but now she's like, I'm just going to be with a woman now. Maybe she ends up in a female relationship for several years, and then maybe another one, she falls into another one, and then maybe she gets to the point where now she's in her late 30s and she has never gotten married and she's going to be too old to have kids soon. So, this is part of the plan. You know what I mean? Like
Get some cats.
it's time to get some cats. And
You know what it is too? Is it's kind of risky and you got to have some courage to go get involved with a man.
mhm.
Like I always think women are crazy to ever get involved with dudes because dudes are bad news
Yeah.
most of the time.
Well, yeah, and like I said, it's hard for women and men to communicate. And a lot of men don't have respect for women or whatever, and they might not give the woman the things that she needs
And
emotionally.
how many women have like some psycho dude who is part of their past
Yeah,
and he lingers around and stalks and can show up sometimes?
totally. So,
So I can see them,
maybe
but
it's just easier to just
it's
be with a
easier.
woman. It's you don't have
But
to work as hard for
well,
a
if you're a
while.
woman, is that satisfying?
No.
It's not.
I mean, I feel like there's too much drama with women, and I would rather try to deal with the communication problems with a man than to try to deal with the drama of a woman. You know
Plus,
what I
I
mean? Because there's some
mean,
crazy women out there.
oh my
You must
God.
have encountered that, right? In all
Yeah,
of your
I totally have. And
shenanigans.
well, the old adage is it's easy to get into a relationship, it's hard to get out.
Hmm.
So if you get into a bad relationship, that sucks
Yeah,
because now you're probably going to spend months, maybe years of your life wasting your
right.
time trying to get out of a relationship with somebody that you shouldn't be with.
Yeah.
And
And
no,
that can happen with two women or two men.
I don't think homosexuality is a healthy mentality. I think once you're in that lifestyle, it's toxic and degenerate, and it's also going to turn you into a reprobate. I think you're only gonna it's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope.
I think once you become LGBTQ, you're kind of regressing down to
It's
degeneracy.
a slippery slope because I think that's where a lot of the younger ones start out, and then they start going down that path to like, oh, maybe I'm just not the right gender, so I'm gonna have to
So it
change.
kind of makes me think like another white pill for this one is kind of the same white pill that we have for almost every episode. Do not become a immoral bottomless pit.
Right.
Because if you become an immoral bottomless pit, the LGBTQ community is gonna
They're gonna like
they're gonna
adopt you.
suck you in.
Yeah.
You want to keep talking?
Totally. I think we've unpacked that one pretty good.
That was a really good one. I
It's
think a lot of people are gonna get mad,
a lot of
but
people are gonna be mad.
you're talking 1 in 4 people. There's a lot of people who
So
it's
25% of the population is gonna be mad at us.
they're gonna be mad, but they're already mad at us.
I know.
We're probably like 95% of the population probably hates us.
I know.
But we have our dude, we have I'd like to thank our listeners. We have 99 followers.
On Rumble?
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting.
So we almost are at 100.
That means we should have a party when we have 100. That means we probably have more like 999. because we talked about
I
how
think so.
our our listen rate is actually inverted from our follower rate. Like
It's weird.
it's
As we
weird.
get more followers, we
We
get
get
less
less.
views. That's
y-
kind of, you'd think it would
It's
be
weird how
equivalent.
that happens.
Like I remember we put out Ixnay on the Ombre or
XA
Ixnay
on the XAI.
Ixnay on the XAI.
Yeah.
That was probably like 3 months ago.
Uh-huh.
And right off the bat, it got hundreds of views.
Yeah.
Now we put something out and it's like, we have more followers now than we did then.
Well, it's interesting how when we very first did this, we had like we had less than 20 followers and we got like 200 views on some of our episodes. And now they're saying
Yeah.
that we have 100 followers, but we're only getting like 20 views.
Yeah.
So all those followers are not watching.
So So, audience,
It's
you know what we're saying.
Yeah.
Basically, they're not giving us credit for the views, and
And
they're not giving you credit for the followers.
we're living in 1984,
We're living in 1984.
and
So, share
we're
us,
being punished for pre-crimes and thought crimes.
especially today. You
Yeah.
talk about their precious
Oh
LGBTQ community,
yeah.
they get me.
Well, even the title is probably gonna, well, I'm sure even what we're saying, they're like flagging us, but we're gonna have to give it a clever title.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, it's going to be suppressed like every other
it
episode.
will be, but
Do you have any other points on this one? Because this was your idea, and it's a good one.
yeah. I think we've covered them. We'll probably have to
You're welcome.
bring up a few of these points again at some point, but yeah, I think that was good.
That was awesome.
I know.
All right, good seeing you.
You too.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.